Hey friends, welcome to Why Did We Start This with Penny and Jonathan, a daily reset helping exhausted business owners stop guessing and build real financial systems so you can finally reclaim your paycheck, your time, and your business. Let's dive in.
All right. So before we get started, we're going to read a review. We've got a review,
cool.
a 5-star review from Soul Caffeine. She says,
As if we would ever read anything less on the air.
right.
Yeah.
We got a 1-star review. No. Soul Caffeine, love this podcast. This podcast is so informative and engaging. The Armbroosters really know what they're talking about and deliver it in an amazing way. I am learning so much, and I can't wait to learn more.
Aw, thank you, Soul Caffeine. So sweet.
That is so sweet.
I know, I
Thank
like
you
the
very
name
much.
too.
That's very cool. Okay, so today, as we promised Tuesday, off of our conversation of we were talking about what was happening with the business owner and how they missed $45,000, and so we promised that we were going to do it. As promised, we're talking about questions to ask before you hire an accountant or bookkeeper. So these are kind of red flags to look for when you're hiring someone, but you could also probably compare them to the current bookkeeper you have if there's also red flags there. So
It's good.
we'll dive right in.
So over and over and over, when I talk to business owners, I've done not a million, I don't know. I've done a lot of like discovery calls or sales calls. And it's the questions that business owners are asking me. So what I use as the tactic to sell is, different than what I'm going to give you today as far as the questions you need to be asking. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay. So like these are not things that I necessarily will just offer in a discovery call because most business owners, they don't care.
Right.
What I'm hoping today is that I can get you to care
Okay.
on your own and then ask those questions. And I realizing as a salesperson, I know that I need to convey a value and I need to convey an end result for you to be wanting to buy. Most people that call me are like, the shit's hit the fan and everything's going to hell in a handbasket. Oh, it's not a family show now. And that's when they call. Because their bookkeeper is usually 6 months behind. With my most recent client, they got an email from their bookkeeper that said, this, and this is wrong, and I'm retiring, and I don't know how to fix these things in your books. Well, if she doesn't know how to fix it, then you for sure don't know how to fix it. So what do you do then? And so that's my most recent client that came on. I just felt so much compassion for him. So like, I said, well, do you know how to fix it? And he's like, no. And I'm like, cool. I would never, ever tell somebody I don't know how to fix this. Like, we would fix this.
Yeah.
I don't. There's a lot of things I don't know, but I will find somebody. I will call my whole entire network of friends in the accounting industry and figure it out.
Yeah.
I would never, ever tell a client, good luck with this.
Right.
Don't know how to fix it.
Okay, so let's dive in.
Okay, so let's dive in. So here's some questions that you need to ask. And these are all from experience. I want you to understand these are all from experience. And I think some of you are going to hear this and be like, oh, I wish I had asked that. Okay. So the first one is, will I get reports every single month? And by what date? That is the very least. If you have a bookkeeper, the very least that you should get is reports every single month. And you should have a date that it is done by.
Yeah.
Okay. Will I have access to the reconciliation reports themselves and not just a summary? And this is going to catch a lot of them off guard because they're going to be like, oh, nobody's ever asked for that. And I'll tell you, no one has ever asked for that. Most of my clients would be confused by them, but just asking the question says, I want to be able to inspect your work. Okay. So even if you don't know how to read it, and I'll probably talk about them on a different episode because that is where the mistakes are made. It just says, I'm going to get in and look at that, make sure that you actually did the work and are not just sending me reports.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't have to understand it. Just say the words. I want the reconciliation reports. Can you explain what these reports actually mean to me in plain English? So that's a very important question, because and I'm sure you guys have seen it, there's 1,000,005 things out there that are saying, hey, become a bookkeeper, and you can do this on your own, work from home, and blah, 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 and have your own business. Here's the deal. Most of them are just doing data entry. They don't understand what's happening behind there. So all they know how to do usually is clear a bank feed. And so when you ask, can you explain that profit and loss statement to me? Can you explain that balance sheet? Ask these questions, even if you don't know the answer. Ask, how does the profit and loss relate to the balance sheet? If the person on that call cannot answer that, then that should be a red flag to you. I mean, it shouldn't be a red flag. It should be the end of the call. Sorry. Are you willing to get on calls with me? Are you willing to get on a phone call with me? Or is this strictly an email relationship? A lot of people don't realize that when they get into a relationship with a CPA or a bookkeeper, an accounting firm, that they have to pay for that relationship at different levels. And so go ahead and find out at that time what that level is.
Yeah.
It's important.
And we're not saying that a strictly email relationship is bad necessarily,
just
know what kind of service that you're getting for the price that you're paying.
Yes.
So I think that was some great questions. I really love the first one. I think that's the biggest, most important one. Like you said, will I get reports every single month?
I'm so freaking amazed at how many people come to us and are like, I've never gotten a report before.
Never gotten a report. Not once a month. Never gotten a report.
Okay, so if you're listening and you can, I just want to know, like, is that you? Are you with somebody that has never sent you a report? Like, I'm just like blown away. That is the very least of their job, is to send you a report every single month.
Yeah. And then I like the second one too, that not just report, like, can you send me the reconciliation reports themselves?
Yes.
So I can see what you've done.
Yeah.
Because that's very important, because we've gotten there a lot of times. Also, we've seen books and they've done nothing. They've done nothing. They've been paying someone to literally do nothing. Okay, we'll move on.
And asking that question number 2 will change that. Okay, this one talks a little bit about access. So how will you get bank and credit card statements? So this is important, because you want to know, am I going to be sending you statements every month, or are you going to go and be pulling those? And so that leads into the next question. What kind of access do you need to my bank accounts, and why? And here's the reason. I want to answer this. Somebody should tell you this up front. So my clients, we ask for read-only access to their bank accounts and to their credit cards. Here's the reason. Read-only means me and my team can get in there. We can look at the transactions that are coming through. We can pull check images so we know what the things are for, but we cannot do anything on their behalf. That means we cannot add a credit card. We cannot process any payments. We can't send a Zelle. We can't add a user, nothing like this. And this is the reason I harp about the banks that you choose. If you're with Chase Bank, you can call them up today and say, I need my bookkeeper to have access. They have an access level for that. This is why you do not use credit unions. They do not have that access level. And so a lot of people give their bookkeeper or their accountant too much access. And I've heard the story over and over and over that they were stolen from. And this is fraud. This is embezzlement. This is serious stuff. They need to lead that conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're hiring a bookkeeper, they need to be leading that conversation.
Yeah. And this is a good point because good bookkeeping, and you'll hear us talk about this a lot as we get going. Good bookkeeping is not just about, and it's a lot about, knowing your numbers and making sure everything's straight, but it's a lot about fraud protection too. And we care
So
a big
much.
deal about fraud protection. And if you have employees, how to set up the proper systems to protect you and your employees from fraud, because we're also protecting them from the temptation of fraud.
Yes. And I think that's what keeps a lot of business owners stuck, is that they grow to this place, like they manage it by themselves. And then they grow to this place where their choice is delegate it, and they're not ready because they don't have a system that feels safe and secure to them, or they keep doing it themselves. And so either way is a dangerous path, and they stay stuck.
Yeah.
And we've watched it over and over.
Okay, we got to move.
We
quickly.
gotta move
We got a
quick.
lot of
Okay.
got a lot of questions.
Do you reconcile to my CRM or ERP, or just to the bank statement? This is really important because a lot of you guys have a software out there that you're keeping stuff in there, and then it should be getting to QuickBooks and back and everything, and it's not getting reconciled on many occasions. How do you protect my data? How can I be confident that it's guarded against fraud? I already talked about the fraud, but how about my data? How about passwords? Do you carry general liability insurance? Do you carry a data breach insurance? Do you carry errors and omissions insurance? Can I get a copy of that certificate of insurance? And the answer here is yes. That's the question. That's one of the questions that's going to set aside Susie Smith, that just got on the internet and clicked on one of those things, become a bookkeeper, from an actual professional company.
Yeah. Yeah. Things you want to watch out for is, you're just going to send them to me through email, or, you'll send me,
Yeah. We have a secure client portal.
Yes.
So.
And this is an important question. You talked about it, but we didn't outline it very well. But do you store my passwords? If so, how?
Yeah.
So
That's
know
important.
that they store your password. If they store your passwords, and how do they store them?
So we use a software password protection program. We use LastPass, and LastPass is built to where accounting firms can scale and hide passwords from employees.
So our employees can log in
Yeah.
to do their work, but they never see the password.
But they never see the password. It's a beautiful thing, and a lot of business owners don't realize that. So, this is a good question. Do you handle taxes? Will you file my taxes for me? And if not, who do you refer me to? So some accounting firms do everything all in one building. Not my favorite. Because there's not a whole lot of accountability sometimes. And so you should ask, if it's all in one building, where's the accountability? Who's double checking that this is correct from this department to this department? And then if not, who do you have someone you can refer me to? Is there somebody that you prefer to work with? How do you work with my tax preparer during the year, and not just at filing time? Is there a relationship during the rest of the year? And we harp on that sometimes. Like, taxes do not just happen in April; they should happen all year long, so that April's not a surprise. So the people that work with us and work with our tax preparer that we work with, they meet with him 4 times a year.
Yeah.
And we have a plan all year long, and then there's no surprise. April's just another month. Okay. I thought you were about to say something.
No, sorry.
You moved like you were about to say something. This is great questions. Hey, what software do you recommend for payroll, banking, payables? Do you have recommendations as far as softwares go? These are really good questions, and it just asks, do you care about my business beyond what I'm engaging you to do? Is there recommendations that you can make to make my life better beyond what I'm just paying you to do? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think, hey, on that, we're talking about questions you should ask them. But I think, since you mentioned that, what are some questions we should want to hear from them? Like, are they interested? In our business? Or
Are we
do they
going
care
there?
about our business? I'm just saying, like,
That's a whole different bunny trail.
it is, but I would just say, importantly, like, listen for just overall, listen for questions that they are asking about your business, that
Well,
they
yeah.
actually
I mean-
care, and they want to know, like, what are your goals? What are you trying to get to? Like they're like strategically thinking about how they can help you instead of just being like, yeah, just give me your books and I'll do them.
Yeah, and those are different engagements. I mean, you're talking about like CFO engagements
Sure.
and stuff, but I always like they need to care.
They still care.
One person that came to us, he said, I was with he was with his CPA for like 20 years. And he was like, in the 20 years that I was with them, they did not know as much about my business as you guys have figured out in 6 months. Like we just got to know his business
Yeah.
as opposed to just doing his books.
Yeah.
And it changed something for him. So there's definitely questions. One of the questions I always ask is, hey, on our very first call, can I be nosy? How is cash flow? Is that keeping you up at night? And that's a sales thing, number one, because I'm being empathetic. I'm showing them that I care. I understand as an accountant that running a business is heavy. And I want them to understand that I understand that cash flow does not equal financial reports. And they really have nothing to do with each other. Not nothing, but yeah. Can you connect me? Oh, well, that was one of the questions. Can you help with cash flow management, not just historical reporting? So that's a good question to ask. And if you're just paying for bookkeeping and they don't help with cash flow, then ask, do you have somebody that you can recommend me or refer me to that can help with cash flow management? And usually they should have a partner in their back pocket that is like a fractional CFO.
Which leads into the last question here.
Can you connect me with lending partners, merchant account providers, insurance brokers, fractional CFOs? Once we get to that point, can you connect me? Do you have HR partners in your back pocket? All of those things are really, really important. They need to be. I mean, the best partners are Grand Central Station, like that. You can call them and be like, "Hey, I need an HR person. I haven't ever fired somebody. Can you maybe, do you have somebody that you know?" And the answer should be yes.
Referrals and network is very important.
Yeah. They should have a whole network. Yeah.
Okay, so there you have it.
Did that help?
Questions to ask. Yes, questions to ask before you hire an accountant/bookkeeper. So, do we want to leave this list for them somewhere?
Yeah.
Hey, actually, just DM us if you want the list. Want the full list instead of having to go back and write down each one from the video. Just DM us and we'll send you the full 15 questions. Hey,
I think I'll add 5 bonus ones on there because there's stuff I didn't get to. But
bonus, yeah. I love it. Okay, follow the show. Leave us a 5-star review. We really appreciate it. Comment or DM Penny and tell us about your business. What is it? What's unique about it? And where it is located. We love you guys. We'll see you next time.